Hello everyone, and welcome to Net Mastery Zone. In this video I'm going to speak about the SD-WAN a little bit and also design a simple network in SD-WAN. Actually design a network using SD-WAN. But in the next videos I'm going to also first install the certificates on the SD-WAN and also some configuration. As SD-WAN is it's a very large topic and it's not possible to design and configure everything in one video. Because of that, I'm just decide to actually separate these videos and make separate video for every section. In this video, let's first design an SD-WAN network, and then in the next video we're going to install the certificate and configuration. First, let me I just create a SD-WAN folder here in the EVNG, and now I'm going to create a new network. Let's name it SD-WAN lab 02 and NMZ. Okay, let's save this, and first let's start with the controller site. Actually, in the SD-WAN we need to create different sites, and also this site number is very important in the configuration when you try to configure your controller device and also the SD-WAN edge devices. In every device you need to say that in which site that you are, and that site number will come in the monitoring, and you can monitor your sites, and then it will easily identify that this device is located where. And the main purpose of SD-WAN actually is to create a actually secure connection between sites, and this connection will control with the control connections with the orchestrator devices, vManage, vBond, and vSmart. Also for some devices, actually the devices with the hardware devices, actually I can say we can also use the ZTP server, and that is zero touch provisioning, and everything will be plug and play. You just plug your device, and the device will just communicate with the ZTP and receive the IP address of the vBond, and then install the certificate, and everything will be automatic. Actually, what is the advantage of the SD-WAN? The SD-WAN advantage that we can say, the first one, we can say that the centralized control. It means that you just sit in the NMC and then just monitor everything, and from that one computer and one room you can access every devices anywhere in the world, and you can troubleshoot, you can install, configure, and so on. Then the second thing that we can say that it's a application based routing. Actually the routing is happened based on the application. For example, if you have a site that you need to send video on, that you can route it from one for example one ISP, and route your voice from another ISP, and so on, the web traffic from another ISP, and this is the SD-WAN give you this control very easily. The second one, then we can say the load balancing. SD-WAN is coupled to load balance between different ISPs, and it doesn't actually it's remove the usage of the load balancer. The fourth one, we can say that it's security. SD-WAN makes a secure channel, secure tunnel. Actually, it's a GRA tunnel between the devices, and send the traffic through this tunnel securely. And also it doesn't leak any route actually to the ISP. All the route will be goes to the orchestrator devices, and the vManage will manage everything about the routing to the site. And next one we can say about the cost saving. Of course it will save the cost of the many devices. With using SD-WAN, you just create a VPN between your sites, and then you don't need any VPN devices like firewall or ASA, so on. And also we can say the visibility and monitoring. It has a interface for monitoring all sites. Every device is down, the warning, everything will be shown on the monitor, and from that monitoring you can actually access the devices and solve its problem, troubleshoot the problem, and so on. Then we can say the resilience. Resilience mean that the automatic failover, actually if one link is failed, the SD-WAN will just easily switch the link to another uplink, and it will makes the uptime more than 99%, of course. And some other advantage that we can say about the SD-WAN, and it has scalability. Actually we can easily accommodate any additional devices, any additional sites to the SD-WAN. Just plug a device, especially when we use the ZTP server. Just plug the device and the device will receive the configuration and will be configured, and the site will be easy to use. Okay, let's not go to the detail too much. I think that's enough for the detail. During the actually designing and also the configuration, we can speak more about the SD-WAN. For now, let's first create our site, actually the control site here, and we will have vBond, vManage, and vSmart in this site. And also let's give a name for this site. For example, this is site 100 that I'm selecting here, and this is site ID, it's 100. And another site, if we can create here, we can for example, let me save this and let's put it here. This is, for example, site 10, and let me create another site. We can say, for example, let me put it here, site 20, and let's make one more site, site 30 here. Actually here in this video I'm going to use only internet, simulate the internet actually to connect these sites, but we can also use the MPLS network also if we need, and if we have, of course we can use the MPLS for the connection between these devices actually. But in the configuration, let me see if we had time, then we can also configure some MPLS here and connect these sites from internet and also from MPLS for more detail, because for the SD-WAN, if we add more than one connection, of course this is designed to have more than one connection, and it has some functionality that needs to have more than one connection to use that functionality, just like TLOC extension and so on, and it's need more than one connection. Also load balancing, if we try to configure that one, also it's need to have a more than one site. Okay, and now these three sites, I think it's enough, and let's add some nodes in this. I'm going to add vManage first, the vManage, actually I'm going to use the version 20.7. This is the last version of the SD-WAN, and when I'm just recording these videos, this is the last version. And if you saw the SD-WAN older than 20.7, it's the interface everywhere is name of vBond in that, and you know that Cisco actually owned the vBond company, and now this is called the Cisco SD-WAN. And in this version, actually Windows Cisco customize the interface, and actually graphical interface is customized and it's changed somewhere, and also add some extra feature for licensing the devices, the licensing, and also for the certification. And okay, no more than one vManage. We need a vBond. Let me search it. We need a vBond here, and also a vSmart. Okay, this is our orchestrator, and this is the 3 necessary devices that is required for the SD-WAN to be established actually. Next, let's have another node, and that is let me use the VH devices here. How many I'm going to have? 4 VH here. Okay, 1 VH here for site 1, for site 10 actually, 1 for site 20, and this 2 for site 30. I'm using these 2 here actually. Let's use 2 for site 10. I'm using 2 here because of the redundancy, and also we can actually test some configuration in 2 devices. My means that when you actually use the load balance here, and also configure the active standby here. One of them will be active, another one will be a standby. It's just working like active standby in the switch. Okay, let me just customize the name. Let me change this. This is VH underscore site 10, and this is underscore 1, the first router. This first VH, and the second one, let me edit that also. This is VH underscore site 10, and this is the second one. Okay, this is the name that we are going to use as a host name also inside the VH devices. And let me edit this one. This is site 20, and this one site 30. Okay, now let's have another one switch here, and we just simulate that as a internet. Actually, I'm going to use one simple, a layer 3 switch here, and that layer 3 switch will have some VLANs, and we can have all these devices in that. I'm using the L2 and the iron one as safe, and let me edit this one, make this to a cloud maybe, if it's available here. I don't know. Yes, it's here. And I saw a cloud here, and let me have more than let me have 3 Ethernet actually module for this, because I don't want I want to have a lot of port here. Maybe we need it for next configuration. Okay, now our network actually is designed here. For this, we need to have for every site, we need to have a simple layer 2 switch actually. but we can use this. And let me change the icon for a switch, simple switch, layer 2 switch, and I'm going to have 3 of that here, and name it switch. Save. Okay, let's have one here, and one for this side. And also let's have some VPC actually, and for testing when we finish our configuration. It can be desktop, one here. Actually we need 3 of that, VPC, and 2 more. Okay, this is for our testing purpose. And for our orchestrator, for our controller here, we need to have a management laptop. Actually, I'm going to use a Windows laptop here, maybe Windows, let me use Windows 7, and this is for the management that I'm going to use. Let me change the icon also, let it be. Okay, this is a Windows, and it's just used for the management of the vManage, to access and to install certificate, and also the configuration of all these devices. And then we need another Windows here, actually Windows Server, and I'm going to use this Windows Server Fresh. And next time I'm going to install the certificate authority here, Active Directory certificate, and to use that as an enterprise certificate for these devices. Let it be here. Okay. Okay, next let's connect all these devices together, and let me also edit this name. It should be switch 1, it's okay, switch 1, and also this VPC is okay, this is also switch 1, and this one also switch 1. And VPC, just VPC. To make everything simple and make everything neat and clean, it's good to give them a relevant name. Okay, now let's actually connect these devices together. First of all, I'm going to connect the vManage. The vManage, we have two interface here, interface Ethernet 0 and Ethernet 1. Let's connect the Ethernet 0 for the control actually interface, and I'm going to connect this Ethernet 1 to the PC for the management. This is just for management. And let's connect the vBond. For vBond also we have Ethernet 0 and Gigabit 0x0. Ethernet 0 is going to be used for the management. I don't need that, and I'm going to connect this to the internet. And then let's connect the vSmart. Also vSmart has two interface. Let's use Ethernet 0 for this. And also let me change this to name it to internet. This is just internet, okay. And let's connect this also. ETH 0 is always for the management interface. Let it be. Let's go use only the GE00 here. For this one also GE00, and this one also, and let's use GE 0x1 for this, and also this one same. It's very important to select this interface, because this interface is actually By default it's added to VPN 0, and in the configuration I will let you know how what is actually the VPN 0. In the SD-WAN we have two different VPNs, VPN 0 and VPN 512. The VPN 0 is used for the connection between the sites, and VPN 512 is used for the management. Also we can make many different VPN numbers, and we can assign a rule for that. It's management or it's for connection and so on. But by default there is two Ethernet VPN actually is available in the devices. Let's connect this one to the switch and connect the switch to VPC, and this one also gigabit. I'm going to use 2. Let's do something. This is gigabit 0 is connected, it's okay. If we have another link actually here, then we need to connect one of these interfaces. Let's do something. Let's just delete this interface, these connections, and use Ethernet 2 actually, because in the SD-WAN when we create a template, that template it will be good to use the same interfaces actually on devices. At least we can try to use the same interfaces for all devices, because when we create one template we can use that template for actually all devices in our network. And because of that, the design is very important to use relevant interfaces, and the next time when you create the try to create the template, it makes very easy for you to select that to actually create one template and apply that to all these devices. Now if I just create a template here in the vManage, I can use Ethernet 0 and put it in the VPN 0, and then it's same for all these devices, and I can apply that template to all these devices, and that makes my job very easy to actually create one template and use it in multi places. Okay, this is actually the network that I'm design here. Let me connect this Windows also. It's a simple SD-WAN network actually, and I think it's enough for now, but maybe later we can create also another connection here, and for example, let me create it now actually. Let me also again use a layer switch, a layer 3 switch, and name it MPLS, and let me use another cloud for this one also. Save it. Okay, now this is our MPLS. Just simulate our MPLS actually. I'm not going to create a real MPLS here. We can, but we have a lot of devices here, and they need a lot of process. I'm trying to make the process as less as possible, because of the PC doesn't support all this process and to run in the same time. And this is MPLS, and we can, for example, connect this MPLS to, for example, this. Okay, this time I'm going to connect to G01, and it will be good. Now if I connect this one also to G01, and next time when I just create a template, and these two interface will be okay, it's a mistake. 01. Okay, next time if I create a template actually, Then this two interfaces will be used, one template will be used for these two interfaces here. Now let's okay, these two sites actually they are connected from internet or also from MPLS, and then we can just maybe create some TLOC extension here and so on. And this MPLS actually these devices actually need to be connected to here to the controller, and this connection actually used with gigabit 0x0 here and here, and then it will receive the configuration for these interfaces also. And let me tell you something, that if this for example the internet is down and our sites actually lose the connection with the internet, I believe it's for 48 hours it's okay. This device will be functional for 48 hours. Let me check that, I'm not sure. Before it was 48 hours, and it will be functional without controller actually here, but after that it needs to be connected to the controller to update their routing table and also update the certificate and so on. Okay, this is the design that I just create here, and let's also create some select actually some IP address range for that. I'm going to use the public IP address for internet. Let's select, for example, this site 1.1. It's site 100. We can say 100.0/24. This is for this site actually. Let's make it visible. Okay, and let's create another one for site 10, for example. It's also 1.1.10.0/24. This will be used here, and let's make it same for site 20. Let's just make it 20 and duplicate. I'm using 20/24 because we don't have actually don't have any limitation for the IP address. Even we only have one one network here. Just I'm using 24-bit mask. It's okay. And let's have some all these devices actually in the controller and also vEdge, they need a system IP. The system IP, let's use a system IP SI, and let's for the site 1.1. Let me think. Let's do it 1. We can say 100.100. For example, for vManager, let's use 11. Okay, and this is the site ID of system IP of vManage, and let's make another one for it's for vManage here, another one for vBond. Let's make it 12 for vBond. It's vBond, and 13 for vSmart. And also for this link, I'm going to duplicate this one, and for WinServer I'm going to use .10. For vManage I'm going to use .11, for vBond 12 and for vSmart 13. Okay, now we have IP address for this, and let's select some IP also here for inside this network. We can use private IP, for example 192.168 for this 10.0/24, and this is for site 10, and let's duplicate it for site 20. This is for site 20, and this one for site 30. Now we can identify that which site this IP is from, and also we need some actually system IP for these devices also. Just one thing I need to tell you, that the system IP should be different range from the IP address that we are going to use for connection. You can see I just use different range of IP address, and this is actually just simple IP address, just one IP, doesn't have any mask. Actually it's ID, it's not IP, and we don't need to put any mask on that. Okay, let's use this IP also. Let me change it to for this one I can use 192.168.10. it should be same, and let me 10.10. For example, this is the one for this site, for this VH, and for another VH we can use it and make it 2. It doesn't matter which range or which class that you are going to use, but it's good to use something relevant here. And for this one, let me make it 20 and 20.20.1 because we only have one here, and change this one to 30. Okay, now everything is okay, and let's just rename this one also and name it to management MGMT. This is my management laptop, the main laptop that I'm going to use it for configuring all this network, actually using this. And Win server is okay. Let's rename this one also to Windows Server CA. This is a certificate server here, and we don't have any certificate in rule install here. We need to install the rule also here. Okay, our design is completed here, and our video is also become too long, and because of that I'm going to in the next video I'm going to just turn on all these devices and try to install the certificate on this. Okay, for now, thank you for watching, and please follow us, subscribe our channel, and NMZ Netmaster Zone channel to receive any new updated videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.